Everybody, we are with Mitch Joel, who is like my all-time intellectual hero of the social web, blogger, podcaster, and yes, I am going to embarrass you. And we are at Social Slam. We are minutes away from beginning Social Slam, where Mitch is one of the keynote speakers today. And Mitch, I just wanted to catch up with you a little bit and ask you about your new book project. I mean, can't be more excited about hearing about your new book. Tell us about it. What's going on?
So I'm in the middle of writing, which is always fun when I'm not cutting back on anything else. So I have like 3 full-time occupations. The book is going to be called Control Alt Delete.
Control Alt Delete.
It'll be out in May 2013, so about a year and a month from this week.
Okay, and so what's the theme? Can you tell us a little the angle? Give us a preview of this thing.
Sure. So basically, what's happened since the first approach was I was considering this whole book about like, okay, social media, now what? And what's actually happened for me is in growing my business and working with clients, I discovered that there's actually these massive movements that have totally and fundamentally changed business forever. A lot of them triggered by technology and the advent of the internet and things like that. And so in looking at the book, I was like, well, that would be like an interesting book to talk about sort of these new business models and how they affect the world. And then something sort of struck me that I realized it's not just about rebooting your business, but it's also about rebooting you. And so the book is now separated into 2 sections. And section 1 is going to be called Reboot Business. Yeah. And section 2 is going to be called Reboot You. And the Reboot You part is really about the things you need to be viable and employable in the next 4 or 5 years.
Well, that's interesting because I'm fascinated with all those topics. So is it fair to say that I probably have been your biggest influence on these ideas?
Yes, well, not biggest only, I would say, actually.
Would you say I'm your muse?
Muse would be soft. Probably bigger than Muse. You know what? In all honesty, when I look at the sort of landscape and who's influenced me, it's actually a myriad of really interesting people, but it's not the sort of usual suspects. People will go to like your Da Vinci's or your Jobses in the world, and for me, it's actually my peers. I think my peers are catalysts for great content creation, and that provides tremendous inspiration.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Now, how in the world do you find the discipline to do this thing? I mean, you're running a huge agency, you do the blogging, the podcasting, you're an active speaker. How do you find the discipline to do this? What's your process?
So there is no discipline. The truth of the matter is this is the work I was meant to do. And I sort of layer that on top of the lessons I've learned from Stephen Pressfield, the guy who wrote The War of Art and Do the Work, which is in any creative endeavor or any business endeavor, you have to bring forward a very blue-collar work ethic to it. And so the truth of the matter is I wake up in the morning and I want to get at it. And the truth of the matter is when I put my head down at night, I'm trying to stop my brain from chattering so much so I can relax a little bit. I don't see this as a job. I see this as the work I was meant to do. I'm extremely, and I hate the word passionate, but I'm extremely passionate about it. So the process for me was actually at the front end of creating the proposal for the book in a very structured way, so that the execution of it is really just me looking at what I had put in the proposal. I collect articles and stories and little tidbits, and I have them all in files for each chapter. And so it's like, okay, chapter 7, here we go. Yeah. And I'm just looking at it and trying. At that point, I'm almost like a DJ. I'm mixing.
What do you use? Do you use Evernote for that, or how do you collect your ideas?
So it's a bit scatological for me. It's not really cohesive. I've used Evernote. I haven't got into it. I've actually just carry around a notebook for the most part and take notes. And then I actually use my email folders as the best for me. I sort of create little folders for each thing, and as things come in an article, I just email it to myself and drop it in the folder, and then when it comes time to work, I either print them up or just read them digitally.
Great. Well, Mitch, Control Alt Delete. Can't wait to see it. And where can people find you on the web?
Mitch Joel in Google.
And they will see your ubiquity. Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, man.